Okay everyone, what I'm going to go over with you today on is, this is a 2018 5075E John Deere tractor, and all the E series all the way up to the 75 are pretty much the same. But what I want to go over with today is when you're driving the tractor and all of a sudden it feels like it's just cutting out and running out of fuel, and you know you got plenty of fuel in the tank, or just altogether quits, and then you go to restart it, it starts back up, and you run it for a little bit more, and then it excuse me, and then it starts bogging down and it quits again. 9 times out of 10 it's your fuel pickup screens in your fuel tank. You got a feed line and a return line, and what happens is these pickup screens, they get clogged up. They get clogged up with like a black sludge or just material in your fuel tank over time. And you got to take these out and clean them with contact cleaner or whatever you want, diesel fuel, to get all the you know, stuff that's on these screens that blocks it off. So you've got 2 of them, and they're both the same. And I'm gonna get underneath this tractor and I'm gonna show you where they go on your fuel tank. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get underneath here, and I'm gonna be, so we're underneath the tractor and we're looking at the fuel tank facing inboard. And I don't know if you can see this, but right here, this is where your fuel pickup screen goes. You have to excuse me, it's kind of awkward here. And it just screws in, and then it's got a pipe clamp, hose clamp that you tighten up. Okay, so that goes in there, you screw it in, and then this goes back on your line. And then the same for this back one is the same scenario. That goes in there, you screw it in, tighten your hose clamps, put this hose on it. I took the hose clamp off of this one, but make sure the hose clamp's on it and tighten it up. Okay, after you clean them, and if you use contact cleaner or whatever, be sure they're good and dry. So after you do that, also let me show you this. This is your drain for your fuel tank. It's right underneath the fuel tank. Okay, it's 2 bolts. There's a bigger bolt, there's a smaller bolt. You have to hold this bigger bolt and take this smaller bolt out to drain your fuel out of your fuel tank. Be careful, because this is just screwed into plastic, so don't go twisting it or, you know, yanking on it. Just hold it and screw this out. Same with these pickup screens. You know, they're just screwed into plastic now, your plastic fuel tank. So, you know, just be careful, don't be rough with them, and just tighten your hose clamps. So after you do that, get off underneath this tractor. Okay, so before you pull those fuel screens out, the first thing you want to do is drain the fuel tank. I usually run mine down, run it down low on fuel, then I don't have to drain out as much. But what we're looking at right here is we're underneath the fuel tank, and as you can see, this is the drain plug right underneath it. Got 2 bolts. It's got the bigger one and the smaller one. You want to hold this one with this size wrench, and then get this one off, because this is your drain one. So pull this out, pull it out, and let drain your fuel out. So that's the first thing you want to do before you start taking off any of those fuel screens on the inboard side of the tank. Okay, so after you get it all put back together, get everything tightened back up, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to purge the air out of the system and recharge diesel fuel into your lines, into your pump. If you don't, you can crank this thing till the battery's dead. It ain't going to start. So go get in your manual, and it'll show you inside your manual how to purge the air out of your system and repressurize the system. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you how to do it real fast. Okay, so we're on the left side of the tractor. So if you're sitting in your tractor, it'll be on the left side of your tractor on the motor. And this is your fuel filter. Underneath it is your fuel bowl, and on top of it is your plunger. This plunger is what you use to bleed your system. You need to loosen this up. Be careful loosening this. This is just like a hard plastic, so you can strip this out. So just be easy with it. It'll come out if you get the right, you know, the right screwdriver, something that fits in there tight. Okay, you don't want to strip it out. You can grab it with some pliers too, but that's going to booger it up over time. So anyhow, loosen this up. Pump this plunger. Just keep pumping it till air-free diesel fuel is flowing out of here. And while you're pumping this and the fuel's coming out, when the bubbles stop coming out of it, tighten it up while it's coming out with air-free diesel coming out of it. And that's how you'll purge the air out of your fuel system. And then if that was your problem, your tractor should start. So I hope this helps everybody out if you run into that problem in the fields. You know, if you stay on top of it and keep it clean, hopefully that'll never happen to you. So